Bienvenue, Yetov de 2020. Alors, welcome to your first A-level French lesson, guys. I remember my taster lesson for A-level French after GCSEs, and we all had to go around in French and say why we wanted to study A-level French. And all I could think of saying was, I just want to speak French, and everyone laughed at me. But that was it. That was the reason I'd chosen the course. And like 10-15 years later, I'm really happy I did. I hope you feel the same, and I hope that's the reason you want to do this course. Now, I'm not going to talk about the course in this lesson. If you want more information on the course, on what we're studying, on the exams and how they work, there's another video. It's very short and it's very boring, and I've put a link for it in the description, so follow that for the course. But today's lesson isn't about the course, it's about giving you a feel of what an A-level lesson will be like. So what we're going to do today is talking about la peine de mort, the death penalty. Now this is a typical thing. We don't quite study this, but we study many things like this in the course, because A-level French is not just about learning the language and the grammar. It's a study of French society. It's a study of French politics. It's a study of French history, literature, and film, and altogether a real look and feeling and appreciation of French culture. So it's basically 6 A-levels in one, which is what makes it so good and diverse and exciting, because you're always doing something different. With your literature lessons, it's like your English literature lessons. With the history, it's like a history lesson. It's a bit of everything, which will really round you as an A-level student. So today's topic we're going to be discussing is quite dark. La peine de mort video, the death penalty, but it's something interesting, and it's something that will hopefully hook you into speaking a bit of French and creating some nice French today about your opinions on this. Donc, parce que c'est encore pour les A-levels, on va continuer en français. Donc, aujourd'hui, on va discuter tandis que tu es en faveur de la peine de mort, ou si tu es contre. Et la chose la plus importante aujourd'hui, pourquoi? On va justifier pourquoi nous ne sommes pas contre tuer quelqu'un au nom de justice. Alors donc, avant de commencer, je vais expliquer comment travailler aujourd'hui. Alors, j'ai mis en ligne la feuille pour aujourd'hui. Donc, c'est ici. Toutes les activités qu'il faut faire sont ici aujourd'hui. On peut soit travailler directement sur la feuille. Si vous utilisez un ordinateur, tu peux travailler directement sur la feuille. Ou si tu préfères, tu peux utiliser du papier. C'est pas important pour moi. Donc, tu peux décider comment travailler, c'est à vous, mais il faut télécharger la feuille pour aujourd'hui parce que toutes les activités sont ici. Alors, la première activité, je vais expliquer. Et parce qu'on va discuter la peine de mort aujourd'hui, le vocabulaire est très différent de ce qu'on a fait pour les GCSE. Donc, ici, on a 11 mots clés pour le corps aujourd'hui en français dans la boîte bleue. Et ici, dans la boîte orange, vous avez les mêmes choses, c'est le vocabulaire en anglais. Donc, sur les portables, mettez un minuteur pour 2 minutes et essayez de trouver la paire entre le vocabulaire en français et cherchez la liste pour le vocabulaire en anglais. Ici, essayez de trouver la paire en 2 minutes. Si tu finis tôt, il y a un défi additionnel. Il faut essayer de traduire la phrase ici en français. Il faut utiliser le vocabulaire dans la boîte bleue que tu viens de trouver la paire avec l'onglet. Alors, 2 minutes mes petits. Put the video on pause now. Essayez pour 2 minutes et quand tu es prêt, recommencez la vidéo et je ferai les réponses. Bon courage mes petits, on y va. Alors, si vous m'écoutez, c'est parce que tu as essayé de trouver la paire entre le vocabulaire et tu es prêt pour les réponses. J'ai oublié de dire qu'aujourd'hui, c'est très difficile. Donc, il faut 6 aujourd'hui. Je serais content si vous avez 6 phrases ensemble. 8 ou plus, c'est très bien. 11, c'est 100%. Ce sera formidable parce que le vocabulaire est très difficile aujourd'hui. Alors, on y va. On a fait numéro 1 ensemble. La peine de mort ou la peine capitale veut dire the death penalty en anglais. Numéro 2, être coupable de quelque chose veut dire cas, to be guilty, je suis coupable. Numéro 3, le sang-froid. J'adore cette phrase. En fait, on utilise le sang-froid en anglais aussi. Ça veut dire c'est cold blood. Donc, tuer quelqu'un en sang-froid, to kill in cold blood. They use this in like, I don't know if you read the sports sections of newspapers, but for penalty takers, they say he had like the sang-froid to do it, like that cold-bloodedness. Alors, numéro 4, un meurtre veut dire F, un murder. Numéro 5, un châtiment veut dire A, punishment, le crime et le châtiment. Numéro 6, la torture psychologique, j'adore cette phrase, veut dire I, psychological torture. Numéro 7, le plus humain veut dire H, the most humane. Numéro 8, être fallible veut dire B, to be error prone. So this word exists in English as well. To be fallible means to be human, to make mistakes. And the system of our courts and our law services, it's not perfect. You're never going to be 100% correct on every one you sentence. So that's a big problem if you're going to kill them after. Alors donc, être fallible veut dire to be error prone or fallible or to be human. Faire les erreurs, c'est normal. Alors, numéro 9, marcher arrière veut dire D, to go backwards. Marcher is to walk, arrière is backwards, so literally to go backwards or to make steps backwards. Numéro 10, la récidive. Right, this is really tough. I doubt anyone got this. C'est G, reoffending. La taux de récidive is the reoffending rate. So for criminals who go to prison, it's really important to look at the reoffending rate to see how successful it's been, because prisons are there to change people, to get them off the life of crime and to rehabilitate them. And if they just go back to committing crimes, it's obviously not worked. Donc la récidive, le taux de récidive veut dire reoffending. Et finalement, un assassinat étatique veut dire E, state execution. So whenever you see this word state, it means like the government have done it. So in America, if you're sentenced to death and you're killed, it's called a state execution. The state of Texas has killed you. Alors, je sais que c'était difficile aujourd'hui. Donc, encore une fois, 6. Je serais content si vous avez trouvé la paire entre 6. If you do have less than 6, I don't really blame you. This is really tough vocabulary today. If you got into the extra challenge, this is what you should have. La peine de mort et un châtiment pour les prisonniers qui sont coupables de meurtre. Really tough. I'd be phenomenally impressed if you did that. Alors, this is a bit of vocabulary to help you out today. We're going to do a quiz. We're going to watch a video and you're going to do some speaking on whether you're for or against the death penalty. This vocabulary will hopefully help you. The next task, obviously, we've always done in groups, so you've always had someone else to help you. You're on your own today, so it's absolutely fine to look things up, to look up words. It's not a test, it's seeing what you can do. You're not allowed to look up the answers, though, for these statistiques. Alors, je vais expliquer. Alors, la prochaine activité, mes petits, je veux savoir si tu sais beaucoup de la peine de mort ou pas. Donc, on a un quiz ici. J'ai 9 phrases en français. Pour chaque phrase, il faut décider si c'est vrai ou si c'est faux. D'accord? Donc, par exemple, numéro 1 dit « La peine de mort existe en France aujourd'hui », qui veut dire en anglais « The death penalty exists in France today ». So they still have the death penalty in France. Est-ce que la phrase ici est vraie ou faux? Il faut décider et cocher soit vrai, soit faux. D'accord? Now, this is where the fun starts. I want to see your confidence levels on how sure you are that these statements are true or false. Donc, on peut jouer entre 10 à 100 points pour chaque phrase, d'accord? Si tu es correct, il faut multiplier par 2 ce que tu as joué ici. Incorrect, tu vas perdre les points que vous avez joués. Je vais donner un exemple. So say I think the death penalty still exists in France, and I'm not that sure. Say I'm 50% sure. So here I can bet between 10 and 100 every question. So I'll go for 50 points here. If the answer is correct, then I get to double this, so I win 100 points. Woo! But if it's wrong, whatever I've bet here, I lose if I get the answer wrong, so I'd write 50 here. At the end, you're going to add up all the points you've won in this column. You're going to add up all the points you've lost in this column, take them away and give yourself a grand total. My advice to you, if you won't know many of these answers, so bet low. Don't do 100 each one, just go simple. Think of it as a percentage. How sure are you in terms of percentages? Work it out. So you can use a dictionary, you can look things up. There's 9 sentences here. See what you can do. Alors donc, put me on pause. Let's say a minute each sentence, 9 minutes to do this. There's a lovely extra challenge as well at the bottom. Alors donc, vous avez 9 minutes, s'il vous plaît. Mettez-moi sur pause maintenant. Quand tu es prêt pour les réponses, recommencez les vidéos. Bon courage, étoile. On y va. Alors mes petits, donc si vous m'écoutez maintenant, c'est parce que vous avez passé 9 minutes sur cette activité et tu es prêt pour les réponses. Alors, c'était difficile, non? Alors, je vais vous donner les réponses et je vais traduire les phrases aussi pour vous aider. Alors donc, première chose à dire, je vais expliquer en anglais parce que c'est compliqué, c'est les maths, hein? Donc, remember guys, whatever you've bet in here, is your confidence level between 10 and 100. If you've not done it, do it now. If you get the answer right, you get to double your points. If you get it wrong, you get to lose your points. I don't know why, but every time I do this in sixth form induction, no one's able to do the simple maths, so keep it simple. Alors, mes petits, bon courage. Alors, les réponses. Numéro 1 dit « La peine de mort existe en France aujourd'hui », qui veut dire en anglais « The death penalty exists in France today ». So it still exists in France. Qui est... Non, c'est faux, mes petits, ça n'existe pas en France. En fait, c'était aboli en 1981. Donc, c'est fini. Mais, don't you think that's quite late? 1981, 1981. So, I mean, to you guys, that's probably like, what, 20 years before you were born? But for me, that isn't that long ago to say you could still be put to death till then. Alors, donc, ça, c'est pas loin. Alors, numéro 2. La lapidation, qui veut dire tuer quelqu'un en utilisant les pierres, existe encore dans certains pays. Alors, j'espère que tu as utilisé un dictionnaire pour quelques mots ici. Les mots-clés sont les pierres. Et voilà, donc les pierres, c'est ça. Donc la lapidation, what is that? Qui veut dire? So veut dire means like that wants to say killing someone by using stones. So la lapidation is stoning, existe encore dans certains pays, still exists in certain countries. So what they used to do is they'd stone you to death. You'd have a crowd and they'd throw stones at you until you died. Pretty brutal. Alors, numéro 2, c'est vrai, ça existe encore dans certains pays. Imagine just how brutal and how horrifying a death that is, and it still exists in some countries. Terrible, non? Alors donc, on va continuer. Donc, j'oublie, remember, if you get the answer right, double your points. If you get it wrong, whatever you've bet, you've lost. 2 down. Le troisième, c'est un peu plus difficile. Le guillotine était le moyen utilisé pour les exécutions en France jusqu'à 1941. Alors, c'est vrai ça. Donc, hopefully, your history teacher have all taught you what the guillotine is. Hopefully you know what a guillotine is. This says guillotine was the method used for executions in France up to 1981. That is true. If you were sentenced to death in England, you would have been hanged. In France, you'd have been guillotined. They would have cut your head off. I know, c'est fou, hein? Having said that, At least it's quick. At least it's over straight away and you don't know anything about it. Donc, ça c'était vrai. I'm sure a lot of you got that wrong. Don't you think it's brutal? Think of that. Alors, on continue. Numéro 4. Les pays qui ont la peine de mort ont moins de crimes et de meurtres que des pays qui n'ont pas la peine de mort. Alors, je vais expliquer en anglais. Ça veut dire numéro 4. Countries that have the death penalty have less crime and murders than countries that don't have the death penalty. Donc, la peine de mort dissuade les personnes. Numéro 4, c'est faux. C'est faux. Ça ne marche pas. Donc, avec ça, l'évidence, on pourrait dire que la peine de mort ne dissuade pas les personnes à tuer, non? Alors, et numéro 5, plus de 2 sur 3 des pays du monde ont aboli la peine de mort. Qui veut dire en anglais, more than 2/3 of countries of the world have abolished the death penalty. C'est vrai, voilà, c'est vrai. Mais encore, ça veut dire qu'un tiers des pays du monde continue avec la peine de mort. C'est beaucoup, hein? Alors, right guys, halfway through, see what you've got. Let's move on to the next questions. Alors, les réponses pour questions 6, 7, 8 et 9. Alors, numéro 6 dit, les pays suivants n'ont pas aboli la peine de mort. L'Arabie Saoudite, les États-Unis, le Japon, le Pakistan, l'Iran. Ça veut dire en anglais, les pays suivants, donc suivre is the verb to follow. So this is how you say the following. So the following countries in the list haven't abolished the death penalty. Okay, did you work out all the countries? L'Arabie Saoudite, Saudi Arabia. Les États-Unis, this is the United States. Le Japon, hopefully you can work that out. Same with le Pakistan et l'Iran. Okay, so the following countries haven't abolished the death penalty. Saudi Arabia, I know for a fact if you get caught stealing there, you get your hand chopped off. I'm certain that's got the death penalty. USA famously has the death penalty, death row, electrocution, electric chair, lethal injection. Iran, yeah, almost, I know for a fact it's got the death penalty. They hang people from a crane there, I think. So, Pakistan and Japan, more modern countries, let's say. Pakistan's probably got the death penalty. Thinking about it. Japan, I wouldn't think so. Would you? Japan. Alors, c'est vrai. C'est vrai, tout le monde. In all these countries, the death penalty still exists, including Japan. Japan and the USA are two of the only what's called democracies that still have the death penalty. 2 out of the 4. Les autres pays ont la peine de mort aussi. Donc voilà, vrai. If you got that one right, I'm really impressed. I think most of us would have got it wrong. If you have, whatever you've bet, you lose. Alors, numéro 7. Il y a plus d'assassinats étatiques, qui veut dire les exécutions par le gouvernement, l'État, aux États-Unis qu'en Chine, qui veut dire en anglais, there's more state executions, so the government killing you in a prison, in the USA than in China. Which country kills more prisoners? États-Unis ou Chine? C'est faux, c'est l'inverse. La Chine, c'est le pays du monde qui tue le plus des citoyens. Voilà. Alors, numéro 8. En Iran, on peut recevoir la peine de mort pour l'adultère et l'homosexualité, qui veut dire en anglais, in Iran, one can receive the death penalty for adultery. That's a very old, like, biblical way of saying, like, cheating on your partner, cheating on your wife, or cheating on your husband. So you get put to death for that in Iran. Et l'homosexualité, and for being gay. C'est vrai. C'est vrai en Iran. Think about that. And the tough thing about Iran is it's one of those countries where, you know, the people in power, it's not like as open, not saying Britain's great, but it's not as open as Britain. So a lot of people are accused of being gay or accused of having affairs, and they get put to death for it. Alors donc, il y a la dernière question, numéro 9. Pour entrer dans l'Union européenne, comme pour y rester, il faut avoir totalement aboli la peine de mort. Qui veut dire en anglais, to join the European Union and to stay in the European Union, as in the EU, what we've just left, you must have totally abolished the death penalty. C'est vrai. C'est vrai. Technically, you can't join the EU unless you've abolished the death penalty in your country. Alors, right guys, the extra challenge. Usually it says here, l'équipe le plus proche gagne un point. The team that's closest to the year gains a point. But what I'll do, right, is I'll let you double your points if you're within 5 years. So you've got to get the number within 5 years. I'm writing with a mouse, that's why I don't actually write like this. If you write within 5 years, I'll let you double your points. If you're past 5 years, you lose your points. Donc, il dit, au Royaume-Uni, la peine de mort était abolie en. Qui veut dire, Royaume-Uni, c'est un autre moyen pour dire Grand-Bretagne. Grand-Bretagne is Great Britain. They also call us le Royaume-Uni, the United Royalty, because it's the kingdom. Voilà. So, in the UK, excusez-moi, the death penalty was abolished in, you need to have it within 5 years. La vraie date, c'est 1969. Voilà, so if you've got from 1964 to 1974, you get double your points. Anything else, you lose them. That is quite late. Even in Britain, you could still, we put to death in 1969. My parents were alive then, think about that. Alors, maybe some of yours were as well, maybe. Alors donc, pensez de ça. Et, s'il vous plaît, ajoutez tous les points que vous avez gagnés ici et ajoutez tous les points que tu as perdus. Et avec les deux sommes, il faut faire la somme entre les points que tu as gagnés et le point que tu as perdu, and write yourself a grand total in that grand total box, guys. Bon effort ici. Put me on pause as you do the maths. Bon effort. Alors, year 12. Donc, on a fait un quiz. Now you know some sort of facts and statistics about the death penalty in the world, and we've looked at some key vocabulary to help you out. What we're going to do now is really going to push you out of your comfort zone. On va regarder en vidéo en français. Je vais expliquer l'activité. Écoutez-moi pour la prochaine activité. Et voilà. Maintenant, mes petits, on va regarder en vidéo par Amnesty International, d'accord? Qui parle de la peine de mort et c'est contre la peine de mort. Amnesty ne sont pas en faveur du peine de mort. Donc, la vidéo, c'est assez loin. On va regarder la vidéo 2 fois, d'accord? La première fois que tu regardes la vidéo, il faut choisir les sous-titres anglais. Donc ici, vous avez C et on peut choisir anglais. Pour la première fois, regardez la vidéo et les sous-titres sont en anglais. Après avoir regardé la vidéo une fois, regardez encore, mais cette fois, choisissez les sous-titres français, d'accord? Et lisez la vidéo pour apprendre la vidéo aussi. Donc, ça c'est activité 1. Puis, en fait, avant de regarder la vidéo, before watching it, now, décidez, est-ce que tu es pas ou contre la peine de mort? Think about it now, before you've watched any arguments. Are you for or against the death penalty? If you had to decide, just say for or against. Hopefully this video will make you think deeply no matter what answer you've given. Puis, après avoir regardé la vidéo, essayez de répondre aux questions 2, 3 et 4. Question 2 dit, qu'est-ce qui te choque dans cette vidéo? Qui veut dire en anglais, what shocks you in this video? What did you think was crazy? Numéro 3, après avoir regardé la vidéo, qui est pas la peine de mort et qui est contre. Donc, c'est la même question. Est-ce que tu as changé la vie? Est-ce que maintenant tu es contre, mais avant tu étais pas? On peut changer la vie si tu veux après la vidéo. Et finalement, numéro 4, la peine de mort n'est jamais justifié. Est-ce que tu es d'accord avec cette phrase? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire en anglais? The death penalty is never justified. Do you agree with this sentence? Or is there some circumstance where you'd allow it? Think about through history, quoi de Hitler, ou les personnes dans les armées nazies. Do you think death penalty would be worth it there? Alors, pensez de ça. La peine de mort n'est jamais justifiée. Alors, mes petits, so, to get onto this video, I've put the link in the description for you to watch. Remember, choose English subtitles. When you do A-level, as you're about to find out, you're not using like stuff specially made for you. Like at GCSE, like Pearson ZXL makes them good, and they're good standard and they're hard, but they are made for GCSE students. At A-level, we just use French. So this is Amnesty.fr. This is the French Amnesty making this video for French people. So it's going to be really tough. That's why you're allowed to watch it with English subtitles. You can watch it more than once in English subtitles as well. Watch it with the French subtitles because it will help you see the relation between the words and how they're written and how they're said. But don't worry if the French is too fast and you don't understand it. That's absolutely fine. This is a bit advanced for you, but it's a good video that will help you out. So once you've done watching it at least twice, have a little go at questions 2, 3 and 4. You don't have to write anything down. I just want you to think about it. And then we're going to look at the arguments for and against. Enjoy this video. It's dark. Alors, bon courage. On y va. Alors, j'espère que vous avez trouvé le vidéo que tu viens de regarder intéressant au moins. Donc ça, c'était la peine de mort. Et le vidéo était vraiment contre la peine de mort. Il avait beaucoup des arguments contre la peine de mort. Mais quoi des arguments en faveur de peine de mort? C'est ce qu'on va faire maintenant. Alors, donc, sur la feuille que je vous ai donnée, ici, c'est la feuille, regardez. L'activité maintenant, c'est ici. Vous voyez, ici, j'ai argument contre et argument en faveur. Et ici, vous avez tous les arguments pour et contre. Ce qu'il faut faire, prenez 2 couleurs. Par exemple, jaune, je vais utiliser pour les arguments pour et vert, je vais utiliser pour les arguments contre. Et ce qu'il faut faire avec les 2 couleurs, donc je vais utiliser jaune pour les arguments contre la peine de mort et vert pour les arguments en faveur de la peine de mort. Lisez les cartes dans la boîte et décidez s'ils sont pour la peine de mort ou contre la peine de mort. Donc, ici, on a la race de l'accusé peut influencer le verdict. Qui veut dire en anglais, the race of the accused, the person accused of the crime, can influence the verdict. So if you're black, you've far more chance of being found guilty by a jury than if you're white. That's a fact in every country where there's a mix of races. Donc, avec ça, c'est un argument contre la peine de mort. Voilà, parce que c'est la discrimination. Deuxième, ici, la peine de mort est populaire dans les pays où elle est appliquée. So, ça veut dire the death penalty is popular in countries where it's applied. People like the death penalty. In fact, in Britain, most people want it back when you look at surveys. So this would be an argument in favor. Voilà. Donc, pour chaque carte, get your 2 colors, decide whether it's for or against. When you're done, recommencez la vidéo and I'll show you the answers. Bon courage mes petits, put me en pause, on y va. Et voilà, et toi, ici j'ai les réponses et j'ai changé l'ordre. Donc ce sont les arguments dans le bon ordre. Donc je vais traduire tous les arguments ici. Donc le premier c'est facile, hein? The death penalty kills, surely that's an argument against. La deuxième, the death penalty is a violation of human rights. Troisième, the criminal process makes mistakes. You can wrongly condemn someone to death, and there's been loads of instances of that, of people have been killed who later on have turned out to be innocent. Think of that. We've talked about this, that people and race is an issue in courts, and you're more likely to be put to death and to have a longer sentence and to go to jail in the first place if you are black or Asian and ethnic minority, but mainly black La peine de mort n'est pas plus dissuasif que la prison à vie. So the death penalty is no more dissuasive than life in prison. It doesn't stop people committing crimes. As the video showed, il est acquis que la peine de mort affecte psychologiquement les personnes qui y participent. So it's accepted that it psychologically affects people. Imagine waiting on death row. Imagine your execution date being set and then something happens and they can't do it that day. Imagine sort of the psychological torture of knowing you're going to be killed and how that would feel. Fut, hein? Et finalement, la peine de mort réfute la possibilité de réhabilitation et de deuxième chance. The death penalty stops any possibility of rehabilitating people and giving people a second chance in life. Think about that. But then, do they deserve a second chance? Surely the people they've killed don't get a second chance. You can't bring them back from the dead. That would be the argument against that one. Alors, donc, argument en faveur de la peine de mort. So, I'm glad there's an even sided to this. Alors, le deuxième, le châtiment, la peine de mort s'impose comme le moyen le plus efficace pour rendre justice, punishment. The death penalty is the most effective way of giving justice. An eye for an œil pour un œil, an eye for an eye. If someone in your family had been killed, wouldn't you want the justice of that person at least getting the same fate for their crime? Deuxième, la dissuasion. The dissuasion, it stops or dissuades other people from committing serious crimes. You're not going to kill someone if you know you're going to be killed yourself. I don't know if that's true. Niveau 3, la prévention. La peine de mort prévient le retour des dangereux criminels dans la société et ainsi d'éventuelles récidives. So prevention. The death penalty prevents dangerous criminals returning into society and therefore they won't kill again, mainly because they're dead themselves. Le quatrième, les personnes qui commettent des crimes particulièrement graves ne méritent pas de vivre. Now, I think this is the fundamental one to decide whether you're for or against. Il dit, people who commit particularly serious crimes. This word grave means serious. I always loved it because like, it's so serious you're going to your grave. You can't get more serious than that. So people who commit particularly serious crimes ne méritent pas de vivre, don't deserve to live. Mériter is the verb to deserve something. What do you think of that? If you did kill someone or committed an atrocious crime, do you think you do deserve to continue living? What if you killed someone else, you've taken their life? Alors, qu'est-ce qui est juste? Alors, la prochaine, la peine de mort soulage beaucoup de victimes et de proches. Soulager is the verb to relieve. So the death penalty relieves the victims of close people. Is that true? Say if like a murderer is released from prison 25, 30 years after killing someone, the family know that they've been released and they know they're on the street again and they might bump into them again. So psychologically, I mean, does it ever go away? Like the death of someone doesn't go away. So why should your crime, is what some people would argue. But not me, mais pas moi. Alors, le dernier, non, pardon, le cinquième. La peine de mort est populaire dans les pays où elle est appliquée. The death penalty is popular in countries where it happens. And here in this country, au Royaume-Uni, it is people want, the majority of people in this country, when surveyed, want a return to the death penalty. Et finalement, d'un point de vue économique, une exécution coûte basiquement moins cher qu'un emprisonnement à vie. Qui veut dire, from an economic point of view, an execution is basically less expensive than prison for life. Surely that shouldn't decide the worth of someone's life, how much a prisoner costs the state. Alors donc, ça c'est les arguments contre et les arguments en faveur. So hopefully that's given you some ammunition and you're thinking about whether you're for or against. I imagine you've already developed that opinion now, but at least now you can see the other side that you'd argue against. Alors donc, la prochaine activité, on va continuer avec les arguments sur les cartes. Et voilà, donc maintenant, il faut mettre les arguments selon l'importance, selon vue. Alors, il faut que vous choisissez les 1, 2 arguments plus convaincants, qui veut dire most convincing. Donc, quel est l'argument le plus convaincant ou l'idée le plus convaincant et expliquez pourquoi. Donc, keep it simple. Don't need to write anything down. You've read all these cards. What's the most convincing argument to you? Whatever it is, let's say I'm gonna go for, voila, you can't just kill someone. Who's got the right to do that? I go for number 1 here, and then number 2, I go for this one here. What's the point in doing it if it doesn't change anything? Voilà, donc ça c'est les 2 arguments. Et je vais dire, selon moi, l'argument le plus convaincant est la peine de mort est en violation des droits fondamentaux de l'être humain parce que tuer quelqu'un, c'est un crime. Donc, comment refaire le crime encore, cela n'améliore pas la situation, c'est encore la criminalité. Donc, ça ne change rien. Donc, la deuxième idée, la plus convaincante est la peine de mort n'est pas plus dissuasive que la prison à vie parce que si la peine de mort ne marche pas et si il n'arrête pas, il ne dissuade pas les personnes à tuer, pourquoi avoir la peine de mort? Donc, je suis contre la peine de mort. Et voilà, that's what I want you to do. Pick your 2 arguments, make 3 little sentences. So just like I did, the first one, what's the most convincing argument and why? What's the second most convincing thing for you and why? And then are you in favour or against? Now what might happen is you have one from either side. In that case, what are you going to decide? Put me on pause, work out the 2 most convincing arguments to you and whether that shows if you're for or against or a mix of both. When you've done that, restart the video for our final task. Hello Year 12, I hope you've enjoyed it so far today. I hope you've enjoyed the content and it's been really interesting for you, and I hope you've enjoyed the challenge of how much French has been thrown at you. For our final activity then, I want to know what you think. Alors mes petits, donc ce qu'il faut faire, vous avez seulement 5 minutes. Don't spend more than 5 minutes on this task. Ça, c'est pas l'idée, hein? Vous avez 5 minutes seulement et je veux savoir, est-ce que tu es pour ou contre la peine de mort? Now, if we were doing this in class, we'd play this as a game called Just a Minute. We're not going to be able to do that today, socially distanced, when you're doing this at home, but I still want to know what you think. So all I want is 5 minutes. Are you for or against the death penalty? Tell me why. You can use the card sort we've done. You can use the vocabulary, you can use everything you want. I don't want a huge essay. Don't do that. Don't spend your time on that. Time yourself for 5 minutes. I just want a few sentences. Tell me what you are for or against et expliquez pourquoi. Ça, c'est la chose la plus importante. What arguments are the most fitting? If you had to argue this, say that someone's life is on the line and you either convince the jury to save their life because you're against la peine de mort, or you convince the jury that they should legally, the right thing for them to do, not you necessarily want to, but the right thing, la chose la plus juste pour la justice, il faut faire la peine de mort. You're convincing me what we're going to do. 5 minutes pour faire ça. To help you out, I've got some key phrases. So, to say you agree with something, there's some key phrases here that you can use. To say you don't agree with something, I've got some more key phrases. To say what you think about rather than je pense que, you can say j'estime que, je soutiens que, pour ma part. And then to evaluate, you can say, or to say the other things, on one side, on the other side, on one side, on the other side. I love this phrase, en revanche, which means in revenge on the other side. So use these words to help you out and see what you can do. Just 5 minutes. When you've typed it up or you can write it up, you can send it me and I'll read it through. I look forward to seeing what you can produce, guys. Donc, bon courage mes petits. This is our final task for today. I hope you've enjoyed this little taster and you've got a feel for A-level languages. It's a shame we couldn't do it together because it would be really nice to see you all, obviously, and to hear you speaking some French and to get back into it. I hope you've enjoyed this. Work hard on all the work I sent you in the post. All the deadlines for that is the first lesson back. Any questions about it, feel free to email me. It's quite boring. I'm only in 1 day a week for year 12, so please feel free to email me and see what to do. Alors mes petits, bon effort aujourd'hui. Email me what you've got. Just 5 minutes. Are you for or against? Can't wait to read them. Looking forward to seeing you all à septembre. Alors, merci mes petits. Au revoir.